Right now, inside your body, there's a survival program older than the human race itself, and it's waiting for one signal to switch on. Hunger. Not the kind you feel when you skip lunch, real hunger. Because the moment you truly stop eating, your body doesn't panic, it transforms. Over the next 3 days, it will burn through every reserve you have, flip a metabolic switch most people will never feel. And on the final day, it will begin quietly tearing apart its own broken pieces to keep you alive. This is exactly what happens hour by hour when you don't eat for 3 days. Here's the journey we're going to take together. We'll start in the hours right after your last meal, while you're still running on that food. Then we'll reach the moment your fuel tank hits empty and the switch flips. We'll watch your brain change the fuel it runs on, your hunger hormones spike, and then strangely vanish. And on day 3, we'll reach the part almost nobody talks about, the point where your own cells start eating themselves. On purpose. Follow the timeline closely, because each stage only makes sense once you've seen the one before it. One honest note before we begin. This is the science of fasting, not medical advice. Extended fasting isn't safe for everyone, and near the end, I'll show you exactly why. It begins with your final meal. As food hits your stomach and small intestine, it's broken down into glucose, sugar, and that sugar floods into your blood. Your blood sugar rises, and your pancreas answers with a hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as the key that unlocks your cells, letting that sugar pour in to be used for energy, and storing whatever's left over for later. For these first few hours, you aren't fasting at all. You're in what scientists call the fed state, comfortably living off the meal on your plate. Energy is everywhere. Your body has no reason to touch its reserves, but that fuel was never meant to last. And what your body does the moment it runs out is where this story actually begins. Around 6 hours in, the meal is gone. The glucose in your blood starts to fall, and your body will not allow that to happen. Your brain alone burns through an enormous amount of sugar every single hour, and it cannot simply switch off. So your body reaches for its backup, a stored form of sugar called glycogen, packed away in your liver and muscles. Your liver begins releasing it, drip-feeding glucose back into your blood to hold the line. This is your reserve tank, and you're carrying roughly a single day's worth of it. For now, you feel normal, maybe a little hungry, but under the surface, a countdown has started. Because a reserve tank has a bottom, and as it drains toward empty, your body quietly prepares to do something it has been holding back your entire life. Somewhere between 12 and 18 hours, the glycogen runs low. And this is the turning point, the moment the rules change. Your body now does 2 remarkable things at once. First, it starts manufacturing brand new glucose from scratch, pulling raw materials from amino acids and fat, building sugar molecule by molecule in a process called gluconeogenesis. And second, more importantly, it turns to the largest energy store you own, your body fat. Fat cells begin releasing fatty acids into your blood, and for the first time, your body shifts its primary fuel away from sugar and toward fat. This is the famous metabolic switch. It's the reason fasting and fat burning are so tightly linked. You've crossed a line now. From here on, you are no longer the person who ate breakfast. You are running on yourself. By now, you'd expect to be starving. And here's where your body does something that surprises almost everyone. Hunger is driven largely by a hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin doesn't rise in a straight line the longer you go without food. It comes in waves, spiking hard around the times you'd normally eat, then falling away again, even though you still haven't eaten a thing. So the hunger you feel at hour 20 isn't your body running out of energy. It's a habit, a scheduled alarm going off. Ride out the wave, and it genuinely fades. It's one of the strangest truths about fasting. The hunger peaks, and then it quiets, which is exactly what your body needs. because what's coming on day 2 demands your full attention. Around 24 to 48 hours, you enter ketosis, and this is where it gets beautiful. As your body burns more and more fat, your liver converts some of that fat into a new kind of fuel, molecules called ketones. And here's the remarkable part. Your brain, which spent your whole life demanding sugar, can now run on these ketones instead. Up to 2/3 of its energy can come from fat, indirectly, through ketones. Many people describe a strange mental clarity here, a calm, sharp focus. That's not a coincidence. It's your brain settling into a clean-burning backup fuel your ancestors relied on to stay sharp enough to find their next meal. At the same time, your body raises growth hormone, a clever move that protects your muscle so it burns fat instead of breaking down the very tissue you'd need to survive. And now we reach the strangest, most fascinating stage of all. Deep into the fast, your cells ramp up a process called autophagy, a word that literally means self-eating. When food stops coming in, your cells start scavenging for spare parts inside themselves, hunting down damaged proteins, worn-out components, even malfunctioning pieces, and breaking them down to be recycled and reused. In other words, with no new material arriving, your body begins cleaning house. It tears apart its own broken machinery and rebuilds. Scientists believe this cellular recycling is so important that the researcher who mapped it won a Nobel Prize. And it's part of why fasting is studied for everything from aging to disease. This is the payoff hiding at the center of starvation. A body that doesn't just survive on nothing, it uses nothing as a chance to repair itself. So if the body adapts this well, how long could this go on? Surprisingly long. With enough fat reserves and, critically, water, a human body can survive weeks without food, far longer than most people imagine. Your fat is, quite literally, stored survival. But, and this matters, adaptation is not the same as safety. As the days stretch on, you lose more than fat. You lose water and vital electrolytes like sodium and potassium that keep your heart beating steadily. Push too far, and the danger isn't only the fasting itself, it's the return. Eat too much, too fast after a long fast, and you can trigger refeeding syndrome, a genuinely life-threatening crash. This is why extended fasting is not for everyone. Not for children, not during pregnancy, not for people with certain conditions, and never without medical guidance. Your body is extraordinary. It is not invincible. So let's step back and look at the whole journey. In just 3 days with no food, your body burned through its sugar, flipped to fat, rewired your brain onto a backup fuel, silenced your hunger in waves, raised hormones to protect your muscle, and finally began recycling its own broken parts to repair itself. You didn't just survive on nothing, your body turned nothing into an advantage. Running a survival program written over millions of years, sitting quietly inside you right now, waiting. If this rewired how you think about your own body, subscribe to Life Labs, because next, we're going inside the opposite extreme. What happens to your body when you never stop eating sugar?